would say good morning to everybody, but it's not a good morning because we don't know where Quinton Simon is. We don't know where he is, and he has yet to be found. So have as good of a morning as you can. I do apologize. I have a little bit of a sore throat, so I might sound a little scratchy, but I'm really not here to worry about that. I had some time over the weekend to think about Billie Jo. Yeah, Billie Jo, you wanted them off your lawn. You wanted them off your street. You've got a sign put up saying you got Chief Hadley put a sign up, yeah, to get rid of these people. So now that you've accomplished that, okay, what do you got now? You've got the quiet you wanted. So now in the quiet, you get to sit there and think and think and think about what happened to that sweet little baby boy. Your grandson, Quinton Simon. Picture his face. Picture him. Remember what he looked like. Now picture his body rotting in a landfill. Think about that. You got quiet. You've got the peace to think about that. And who put him there? Well, the police say that your daughter, Lilani, is the prime suspect, the only suspect, and the evidence have led them to the dumpsters, which then were taken to a landfill, and his poor little body, that poor little boy, was crushed into the garbage in a landfill, and you have nothing but time right now and quiet to think about that. It's heartbreaking. I'm heartbroken. He's not my son. He's not my grandson. He doesn't come from where I live. But you know what? My heart breaks to think about where he wound up. And yours should be breaking too. But you've got time now to think about that because you've got nobody on your lawn. You've got no protesters. You've gotten rid of them. Congratulations to your new buddy, Queen Bee, who sent a bunch of crazy people who don't even care about your grandson. They don't. They just, they're not there for, and they said it, they're not there for your grandson. They were never there for your grandson. So Queen Bee got rid of all the people who were standing up for your grandson. You should have been out there with them, protesting for justice for your grandson. Right, you should have been, but now you've got time to think about other things, such as what stories your daughter told you. What was one story? Let's think. Well, when she woke up at 9:30, the door was open. Someone must have creeped into the house and took that baby in broad daylight. Okay, that was one story. Another story is that the door was left open, and this your son Michael, I guess he's your stepson, said that the door was actually open from 2:30-ish to I think 5:30. So I guess that implies that he wandered off in the night. But the dogs didn't find a trace of him leaving that property. Okay, what was another story? Oh yeah, this story. Your daughter said Bubba took him. Bubba hasn't seen that child in, 6 months? He didn't even think the child was actually his. I mean, he didn't even really know that if Quinton Simon was actually his or not. But your daughter tried to throw it out to him. See if it sticks to Bubba. Okay. Now you guys are saying, what are you're saying the babysitter might have had something to do with it? Well, you know what? One thing about the babysitter is she's got a lot of cameras. And the police know exactly all of her comings and goings that day. So we know for a fact it wasn't the babysitter. And she had nothing but love for those kids. She loved those kids. She loved Quinton. She still does. And she's still praying that he's alive. Yeah. She's praying. And you know what? I really hope he is alive. I don't believe he's alive. I don't believe it. And I know you don't believe it either because your daughter's a liar. And that was another one of the lies that you guys have come up with. Now let's look at Danny. Is that another story that you're throwing out there trying to say, well, Danny did it? Okay. Well, you know what? In my books, Danny isn't out of trouble either. In my books, you know what? Danny was there. He's a suspect in my head too. But you know what? Your daughter was the one that was, at the dumpster. That's evidence they say they have that she was at a dumpster. That's where their evidence took them to the landfill. So now, anyways, you can think about that. Think about the stories. Think about all the lies she tells. Think about how she just sits there and doesn't seem to care. I mean, the girl is just like a blank face. When I saw her sitting on the lawn, she got nothing. She had nothing. She's sitting there on her phone. You are at least seem a little angry, but your anger is directed at the wrong people. And I want you to think about that in this peace and quiet time, that your anger is directed at the wrong people. Your anger should be directed at the people who killed that boy of yours. Yeah. Your anger needs to be directed at the girl who's sleeping under your roof in a bed that you provide in what looks like a fairly nice house with some, she's got a little bit of a cushy life going on right now, and you're providing it for her. You're providing it for her, Billie Jo. She killed your grandson, and you're providing it for her, and you're protecting her. So direct that anger that you feel towards everybody else who's now apparently gone home. Direct it towards her. Find out what she did with that baby. Make her tell the truth. Stop with the signs. Stop with trying to care about what's going on outside your house. You got a lot going on inside your house. You got a lot going on inside your house. Okay? You got a daughter who gave birth to 3 cocaine-addicted babies, who you took custody of those children to protect them from her, but you failed to do that. And now one of them is dead, and the other 2 have been taken by DFACS. And all you've got left is her. Sad. I almost can feel sorry for you in a way. But when you're standing out on your lawn in what can only be considered as a party dress, talking to people who've said some horrible things. I mean, they said some horrible things about your grandson too. They said some horrible things about you. But you're out there talking to them, and then you run away as soon as, I guess, Dolly and Bullhorn Betty and Justin and Mallory. I think Mallory was there. Olivia, everybody, and Molly came back up the street. You ran back in. I mean, I just think that's a bad look to start with. Your grandson's missing, presumed dead, presumed to be rotting in a landfill, and you're standing out talking to people on the lawn in a party dress. I'm not going to say you shouldn't be wearing that kind of clothing, because you know what? You have a right to wear whatever kind of clothing you want. But is it the time to be wearing a party dress? No, it's not. It's not the time to be wearing a party dress. And think about that. You got peace and quiet now, so think about your choices. Think about your choices. Think about what you could have done to make sure that this never happened. Think about that. Do I think you should go to jail? Yes, I believe you should go to jail, and I'll tell you why. Because you took custody of those kids, or guardianship of those kids, under the guise that you were going to protect them. But I believe, my personal belief, is that you did it to try and keep DFACS from taking the kids entirely. And then you proceeded to leave those kids at home with an unstable, definitely drug-addled person who clearly doesn't care. I mean, I can see she's sitting on the lawn there, she's just blank. She just doesn't care. She doesn't appear to care. And you know what? Those crocodile tear that she slid out of her eye, she didn't look like she was in pain. She don't look at him. You look like you're in pain, and I do believe that you do feel some pain. But think about it. That beautiful, beautiful baby boy, because you didn't protect him, is in a landfill. Yeah, it breaks my heart. And I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm a human being. This upsets everybody. It upsets people. And the reason why they're out there screaming for justice for Quinton is because it hurts us. Because we care. And Queen Bee, she's doing this for clicks and views. Savage, she's doing it for clicks and views. Cher is doing it for clicks and views. And The Dirt. And me, I don't care about clicks and views. Because you know what? I'm not a YouTuber. Like I just said, I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm a human being. And I want to see justice for Quinton. And I want you to sit there in your peace and quiet and think about what she done to that baby and how you can make her come forward and end this. And to everybody else, I'm sorry I did go off on a little bit of a rant there because I'm very passionate about this. It hurts me. I feel very deeply about this, and I have a lot of opinions that, I don't agree with the police chief not putting her in jail, at least until they find out where that baby is and what she did. They should be arresting Leilani on something. She's got many things that they can charge her with, and she shouldn't be running the street, and then she shouldn't, they should know where she is at all times, at the very least. This is just, how I just can't think about how that poor baby boy wound up in a landfill. And until we get justice, without justice, we won't have peace. No justice, no peace, no Quinton, no sleep.